3 Nikon Z mirrorless cameras are about to get a lot better thanks to the lens manufacturer Sigma. Let's talk about it. By the way, my name is Zach and I make videos about photography, camera gear, amateur videography, and vlogs. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. And if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, all that stuff so you can see the content that I'm making in the future. So let's talk about Nikon crop sensor bodies. Right now they've got 3 bodies out. That's the Nikon Z50, the Nikon ZFC, and the Nikon Z30. These are all pretty awesome little cameras. I've owned the Z50 for a while now and I just really enjoy using it. In fact, I probably take it out with me more than my Z6 II that I'm shooting this video on right now. What I love about the crop sensor bodies, a 21 megapixel sensor, but they're BSI sensors, so they get a really good image even in lower light. I love the speed that they can shoot at. All of the bodies have some variation of a flip or tilt screen that make it easier to see yourself when you're filming. 4K with no crop, and 120 frames per second filming at up to 1080p. So a lot of really nice features for video and photo. Unfortunately, the Nikon crop sensor Z mount cameras have a drawback, and that drawback is there is basically no lenses for the crop sensor bodies, right? Right now they only have 16 to 50 kit lens, the 50 to 250 zoom lens, and the all-rounder 18 to 140. These kit lenses are all good, but they're zooms and they're slow. That is all about to change because Sigma just announced officially that they're bringing their trio of crop sensor 1.4 prime lenses to the Nikon Z system, which is super exciting. Those lenses are the 16mm 1.4, 30mm 1.4, and 56mm 1.4. What are those lenses going to do for you though? So the 16mm, nice and wide, a good walk around lens, equivalent of a 24mm lens. It's still wide enough that you can vlog with it, and that 1.4 vlog length is going to give you a nice, dreamy, creamy, soft background while keeping you in focus. The 30mm is the full frame equivalent of a 45, close to a 50, and that's going to be a great walk around, street photography, and portrait lens. The 56mm 1.4 lens is roughly the full frame equivalent of an 85, which is going to be a stellar headshot and portrait lens. Oh man, I'm just so excited about these. So with me, I've got the 16mm 1.4 Sigma lens, and this is actually for a Sony E-mount system. Not too long ago, I got a ZV-E10, and I only got that camera for this lens. Let's talk about it just a little bit. The build quality is nice. It's their contemporary line. It's got a nice feel to it. It's got a really nice focus ring. The optics are great. Like, it's just built well, but it's not huge. Like, this is awesome. On your Nikon Z50, it's going to look approximately like that. So let's talk about a 1.4 aperture and what that's going to get you. Why is it important that we have fast prime lenses for these systems? Well, 1.4, guys, that lets in a lot of light. That is 3 stops more light coming into your camera than you can get with the kit lens, which means you can use an ISO 3 stops lower to get that much cleaner of a shot. That's 3 stops more light that you're letting in, so you can use 3 stops faster shutter speed to be able to freeze the action better. More light in photography is basically always a good thing, and that's what a 1.4 lens is going to get you. Practicality, what does a 1.4 lens get you? It gets you that nice creamy background, because the lower your aperture number, the more background blur you get. This is the Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens at 1.4 aperture. So you can see you definitely get a really nice background blur. We're at f3.5 on the 16mm 1.4 lens, and you can definitely tell the difference in the background blur that you're able to get by using that lower aperture number. So what does this mean going forward? This is the first of what are hopefully many Sigma lenses coming to the Nikon Z system. They really have an impressive lineup of primes and zooms, and they're definitely more affordable than the first party glass. Just seeing that Nikon's willing to let them bring a couple of their lenses into the Z system is very exciting, and it makes me think the future is looking bright for the partnership between these two companies. And the people that really benefit are the consumer, right? That gives you more lens options for your cameras. That makes certain lenses more affordable and accessible for more people. And it also makes the system just more competitive in the marketplace. Sony, ton of third-party options. Canon, basically no third-party options, because they came out and said, yeah, you guys nobody gets to make autofocus glass for the RF mount except for us. Nikon is saying, hey guys, build some lenses, fill the gaps, and that benefits the consumer, and I'm very excited about that. Not sure what the prices are gonna be right now. I think I picked up this 16mm for about $400 when I bought it from my Sony. So I'm hoping to see, similar pricing between, the Sony variants and the Nikon variants, but that we'll just have to wait and see, especially with the Tamron 70-300 for the Z mount. I know that one came out a little bit more expensive than what it was on the other system, but we're just not sure yet. We should have that information coming soon in the future. So what are your thoughts on Sigma releasing these 3 crop lenses for the Nikon Z crop sensor bodies? If you're like me, I'm pretty excited. Which of these lenses would you be most likely to pick up, and what would you be using it for? As always, I appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.